This lesson shows you how to stretch a rubber band line between a point and the mouse pointer. The line will stretch and move and follow you wherever you take the mouse. This technique is commonly used in graphics programs to draw things, but it comes in handy in other situations too. Now here's the program. These four variables hold the endpoints of the line being stretched on the screen. The start point is fixed. It's at the point at which the mouse started the rubber banding action. The end point is at the mouse pointer. The rubber banding continues as long as the mouse button is held down and the mouse is moving. This Boolean value is true while a line is actively being stretched. Now, this is a reference to a vector object. The vector object is used in this program to store all the lines that have been drawn by the mouse. Inside the constructor, a new vector object is created and is stored in the reference. The first thing that happens in the paint method is that all the lines stored in the vector object are drawn to the screen. The value returned from the call to the size method is a count of the number of line 2D objects that are stored inside the vector. Now, a vector object can hold any number of any kind of objects, so each line 2D object is pulled out and cast into what it actually is and stored in a local reference for use. If a line is currently being rubber banded, it's drawn here. Each end of the line is set off by being marked with a big plus sign, and the ends of the line is terminated at the center of the plus sign. You can put a bullseye or anything else you like at the ends of the line, but I use the big plus sign here because it's easy to do. All this does is draw one vertical and one horizontal line at each of the endpoints of the stretching line, and the last call to draw a line draws the stretching line itself. The paint method is called a lot, as you'll soon see. The paint method is called every time the mouse moves. The mouse dragged method is called every time the mouse is moved while stretching a line. All this method does is set the new termination location of the line and call repaint, so a call will be made to paint. The mouse pressed method is called when a mouse button is pressed and a new line is started. Lines always start where the mouse button is pressed, so the starting and ending points are set to the current mouse pointer location, and we're off. When the mouse button is released, the mouse released method is called and a new line is created. This is done by creating a new line 2D object and storing it in the vector object. From now on, this line will be drawn every time the lines stored in the vector object are drawn inside the paint method. The stretching flag is turned off and repaint is called, so the screen will be updated showing the new status. And here's what it looks like. Several lines can be drawn. Each one, as it's completed, is stored inside the vector object. Only the line being actively drawn is the ones with the plus signs marking its ends. You could mark it in other ways, such as changing the line style or changing the line color. A multi-line segment can be drawn by momentarily releasing the mouse button and pressing it again before the mouse is moved. They're actually separate line segments, but they join end to end and look like one continuous line. Okay, that's pretty much everything there is to know about the mouse. With the next lesson, we'll start digging deeper into drawing lines and shapes.